Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Hey, freaks! Look at those guys, huh? We've been letting them outside a lot. They seem to have a good time. And guess what? They don't pee and poop as much inside the in their little enclosure there. But we got to keep them in there until they're fixed, you know. They mark everything. I mean, today I saw Clancy marking Benny. Like, Benny was standing there, and Clancy went up and just peed right on the side. Like, what the hell is that? You know? And he has these, like, Clancy has these micro, like, really the fastest piss in the West. You know, just kind of, pit-too. Like, you can almost not even see it. It's like, he turns, whoop, yeah. It's crazy. Well, unfortunately, the title in the video today doesn't say Kohberger in the start of it, so, you know, probably won't make it out there to people to come watch. But I actually have the federal documents on this Nikita Kassup guy, a 17-year-old kid. That should be pretty interesting. Doesn't that just suck, though, if you don't just keep doing the same thing? It's just wild. It's going to be tough to get to 200 people tonight. Let's see. But I did have something I wanted to bring out, because I don't know if you remember on last night's show, we were, you know, somebody said, oh, they talked to the DoorDash driver. Oh, my God. And I was like, who talked to the DoorDash driver? I never heard anybody talk to the DoorDash driver. And I thought I just missed like this huge interview that somebody had out there. But turns out that's not what it was. They even had the same numbers and everything in it. So if you look at this right here, it says, look at that. He lived 1,200 feet from door. Driver who brought Idaho victims home the night they were killed is, oh, wait a minute. So that's the rideshare person. Oh, I see. Yeah, this kid's 17 years old. I'm just doing this update on what we were talking about last night really quick. So it says the private driver who dropped Kaylee Gonzalez and Maddie Mogan off at their home near the University of Idaho campus just hours before they were stabbed to death in their early morning hours of November 13th is exceptionally glad an arrest has been made and tell Law and Crime that he actually saw the white Honda Elantra police were looking for last month. I thought that part was sort of interesting. The man who did not want his name used read the affidavit charging Brian Kohberger. And so, by the way, this lady in the comment section said it was a girl who was the rideshare driver, and she got arrested for drugs. Well, right here it says the man who did not want to be named. So, I mean, where do these people come up with this stuff? Read the affidavit charging Brian Kohberger, 28, with felony burglary and 4 counts of first-degree murder for the death of Gonzalez, Mogan, Kernodle, and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin. 19-page document contains chilling details about Kernodle's death, including a surviving roommate who told investigators that she heard crying. I was surprised but exceptionally glad that some form of resolution is forming, the private driver said. I feel exceptionally bad for those parents and our community. He was somewhat stunned to learn that Kohberger, who maintains he did not commit the murders, lived near him in Pullman, Washington. He lived 1,200 feet from my front door. I spent 6 weeks trying to convince my wife there was not a threat, and I was wrong. The driver said, adding that his wife still fears walking their dog despite Kohberger's arrest. The driver spent much of his days shuttling people around town, so after the killings he kept an eye out for the white Honda Elantra. He eventually spotted it at Kohberger's apartment building sometime after December 7th. So this rideshare driver, which took home Maddie and Kaylee, actually, and I think that's who they're talking about, right? Yeah. This driver, because he drives around, was looking for the Elantras, like they were saying, and turned it into the police. And it says, I thought it was, says Kohberger's apartment building sometime after December. I thought it was too new, the vehicle he saw. He said of the car, since Moscow police had asked the public for information about 2011 to 2013. However, he wrote down the car's Washington state license plate, so yeah, definitely was after Kohberger changed it number and submitted a list of 13 or 14 Hyundai Elantras he had spotted sometime around December 10th through the Moscow. I thought there was 50,000 of them. This guy was driving around all the time and only found 10? The arrest affidavit stated a Washington State University police officer had identified Kohberger as driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra on November 29th. I just went over that the other day. And another WSU officer saw the vehicle at Kohberger's apartment building that same day. The affidavit shows Kohberger was already on law enforcement's radar before the rideshare driver submitted his list to police. The driver says the affidavit confirmed what he suspected about the crime. Some of the most chilling details include the revelation that a camera from a home less than, I guess you could say homeless. Hey, thanks this account. I haven't seen you in a long time. And yes, you guys, this is a normal show tonight. If you guys have the ability to help support the channel during the show, that would be great. We reached the goal last night, not the night before. It'd be nice to keep on reaching it. And there, oh, look at that. This account did 5 more memberships. So we got Selena Samborski, Kimberly Jerome. You know what I think might be sort of interesting to do is go back to and read some of the earlier, what do you mean, holy cow, this guy? What does that mean, Cindy? So we got blame Katie. Yep, we'll start blaming you, Katie. Got to be Katie's fault. Jeannie Spratt. There's Moofies. Chaffo, 9477, and Leslie. Yeah, so I think it would be sort of interesting if you go back and find some of the earlier, articles that everybody sort of long forgot about. This article here is from January of 2023, and I think this is, I didn't even know this. This is crazy. I mean, that this other guy was, this driver that actually spotted the vehicle too. The driver says the affidavit confirms that he suspected about the crime. Some of the most chilling details include the revelation that a camera from a home less than 50 feet from Colonel's bedroom recorded what sounded like a whimper and a loud thud. This is probably when the probable cause finally came out. The affidavit also stated a DoorDash driver had delivered food to Colonel at 4 a.m. and that she was active on TikTok at 4:12. I suspected from everything that I read that whatever happened in that house was exceptionally violent, far beyond what a scorned lover would do in regard to sheer violence. The murders have left Moscow residents in shock and created fear among college students who once felt safe leaving their doors unlocked and walking around. That's kind of how it always is. Right here it says, they were nice girls. They were always polite with me. They were happy, friendly girls. In my opinion, there was nothing bad about them, he said. They were all good employees of Mad Greek, he added. So this must be somebody else. Let's see. No, I guess he just knew that. The driver said he and many others in the community still feel frustrated by the messages police sent to the public early on in the investigation when they called the murders targeted and said the community had nothing to fear. Yeah, what a joke. The comments about the crime were later walked back, and police said they didn't know if the house or the people inside were the targets. Like it was a robbery that went wrong? Yeah, whatever. I'm hoping they have an ironclad case. They do, the driver said. Unless you're a Kohberger, the case is... They don't even know why he was ever arrested. I mean, Kohberger is the most innocent guy in the world, according to these guys. Anyways, all right, so there you go. That was the update on Kohberger, and maybe at the end of the show we can get back to that, but I really just kind of want to go over this assassination attempt, or plot, not an attempt. So here is like these articles that came out in March 3rd, way like, geez, 5 weeks ago. The person of interest in the village, okay, let's go here. Family members say the person of interest in the two village of Waukesha deaths is related to the victims. Turns out it's their kid. That teenager has been charged with those crimes, or hasn't been charged with those crimes yet. Family members say the person police call a person of interest in the deaths of two people is the victim's son and stepson. So his dad's a stepdad and his mom is his biological mother. Family members say the person police call... I just read that one. The teenager has not been charged with those crimes at this point. Let's see what it says here.
We begin, though, with our big story tonight at 5. Family members say the person of interest in two village of Waukesha deaths is related to the victims.
That teenager has not been charged with those crimes at this point, but Waukesha County reporter...
Family members identify the two victims as 51-year-old Donald Mayer and his wife, Tatiana.
The two bodies are in autopsy today, and I'm waiting to hear the results.
Donald's mother, Judith Mayer, spoke with Fox 6 Monday by telephone. She confirmed a social media post from the Waukene, Kansas Police Department is connected to the two deaths. Police in Kansas pulled over a driver who didn't stop at a stop sign. The vehicle he was in was reported stolen out of Wisconsin. Police called the driver a, quote, person of interest in a double homicide in our state.
I assume that he had a gun. They found the gun in the car.
Judith Mayer says Tatiana's...
Just a psycho kid. Let's see, let me give the other one that was also... This one's on the 4th, so there's more information. Teen with perfect school attendance went absent for weeks. Then police found his mom, stepdad slain at home. Nikita Kasip faces theft and motor vehicle charges after police found the bodies of his mother, Tatiana Kasip, and stepfather Donald Mayer. Do you know that we're currently at 0 on Super Chats tonight, you guys? If we could please help support the channel tonight, that would be great. Alright, this channel relies on you guys. I don't think I've ever been on a show that this late into it. We're still at 0. So we got that. We got the buy me a coffee options. I know we're not doing a big show on Kohberger tonight, but I need the support nevertheless, so we can do the same thing we were doing last month. All right, well, there you go. Well, let's not have it be this account day. but thank you, this account. All right, let's try to make it a little bit more democratic, where... thank you, though, this account. Jeez. Authorities have arrested a Wisconsin teenager on theft and motor vehicle charges after police found his stepfather and mother slain in their home last week. The deceased couple were found in their home in village of Waukesha, Wisconsin, on Friday, February 28th by officers conducting a welfare check, according to a statement. Police did not name the victims in the statement, but family members identified them as 51-year-old Donald Mayer and his wife. Let me see if I can find this. Let's get the house here. I guess it's the This Account Show. Thank you. I'm just looking for him on Ben Verified so we can get the, or her anyways. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Allie K. Alright, so I think this is, and Vicky White. Oh, look at it. Melody Summer gifted a membership to Barbara Walsh. Cindy Lean's trying to get one. Wow, so is this... what a weird address. I think this is it, though. It says 538 West 2756 Cider Hills Drive, Waukesha. I mean, that's about the only thing that I think that's probably it. Except which house is it? That doesn't make sense. Let me see if I can find a... Oh man, there's no relatives either listed for this person. That's crazy. What's the what was the father's name again? Let me go back to that. Hey, thanks Lisa Valenzuela and Marilise. Thank you. Let's see. The dad's name is Donald Mayer. Let me look that up. Probably not too many people with that name in that town. So Donald. This is going to be really interesting, you guys, so make sure you're still here. Because I have the federal charges where it gets into crazy stuff like Telegram. I have both, like I have a document related to this incident and then a bigger plot that they uncovered. I'm just trying to find their house. So he's 51. And how's he spelling Mayer? Oh, it's M-A-Y-E-R-E-R. Try that again. Refine results. What have you been doing now? This account? I haven't seen you for a long time. Let me try that again. Donald Mayer, Waukesha, Wisconsin. Okay, this one says 52. I wonder if that's the one because he lives in Waukesha. I mean, what are the odds of that? And it's the same address. So it's definitely got to be the same person, wouldn't you think? That's, I'm not sure what S38 West, it's like almost like it's south. Let's try that. South 38 West 27056 Cider Hills. That's an actual place? Oh, wow. It was right here, but it landed right on the house this time. That's crazy. All right, so there you go. That's the house. That's where he killed his parents. So Donald and he was Donald mayor. And what was the mother's name? It was kind of like a Russian. Let's see. And Tatyana Kasip. All right, there we go. And so that's where they lived. And let's see what if it has a street view on it. Yeah, look at that, man. They went right down there. Like a really nice house. Jeez, that's crazy. Alright, back to the article now. Okay, later on February 28, officers from Waukene Police Department in Kansas arrested 17-year-old Nikita Kasip while the teen was allegedly driving Mayer's car, according to a criminal complaint initially obtained by 12 News and reviewed by People. Nikita was charged with theft in connection with the vehicle and firearm. He has not been charged in connection with the deaths. Investigators soon learned neither Mayer nor Kasip had been heard from in the days leading up to the discoveries of the bodies. On February 28th, at around the same time that Mayer's mother requested welfare check, a resource officer from Nikita's school requested the same thing per the complaint. The resource officer said Nikita had maintained a perfect attendance at school until he stopped showing up about 2 weeks prior. The couple, let me just, what does it say? The couple had waning communications with those who knew them throughout the month of February, according to the complaint. Tatyana's vehicle was last recorded in a license plate reader in the neighborhood on February 11th. So that's probably when they were actually killed. On February 23rd, Mayer's mother received suspicious and weird text messages from him. All right, so let's go to, I think I have that one. I think this is the complaint, criminal complaint. Let's just go down to the nuts and bolts down here. You guys interested in this? This is going to be, I think this is going to be really interesting. All right. Okay, it says on February 28, 2025 at approximately 9:44 a.m. deputies were dispatched to, and there's the address, I didn't have to look up, I guess, S38 West 27056 Cider Hills Drive in the village of Waukesha, County, Wisconsin, for a well-being check on victim A and victim B, as well as victim B's son, because he hadn't showed up to school and people hadn't heard from his parents. And the son is identified as Nikita Kasip, date of birth 9/19/2007. Hereinafter referred to as the defendant. The caller was identified victim A's mother, who indicated she hadn't had contact with victim A. Is that what did we determine in that last article? Whose mother was it? Nah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Further, the defendant's school contacted victim A's mother and stated he hadn't been in school for a long time. So, further, the defendant's school contacted victim A's mother. So, why would you call the grandparent? Victim A's mother, probably a backup number, requested deputies respond to the residence for a well-being check of the occupants. Victim A's mother stated she received suspicious or weird text messages on February 23rd, 2025, purportedly from victim A, but she has not heard from any member of the family since. Further information was received that victim A's sister had last talked to victim A on February 18th, 2025, and at the time, victim A stated he had been, okay, so victim A is the dad. I was waiting to have a gender assigned. They didn't say they, them, but they did say he. Let's see. It says victim A's sister. Where are we at here? So victim A, who is a male, so that must be. I have it right over here. That is Donald Mayer, and then Tatiana Kassup is victim B now. So we could be reading it like this up above. So they checked on. Did we say A was Donald, right? I just want to make sure I got it right. Received victim A's sister had last talked to victim A, and at the time and stated he had been pretty sick. Okay. Right, so let's do it like that. Wisconsin for a well-being check on Donald and Tatiana, as well as Tatiana's son, identified as Nikita Kassup, date of birth 9/19/2007. Man, that's crazy. Hereinafter referred to as the defendant. The caller was identified the caller was identified as Donald's mother, who indicated she had contact with him in weeks. Hadn't contacted him in weeks. Further, the defendant's school contacted Donald's mother and stated he hadn't been in school for a long time. Donald's mother requested deputies respond to the residence for a well-being check of the occupants. Donald's mother stated she received suspicious or weird text messages on February 23rd, 2025, purportedly from Donald. But she had not heard from any member of the family since. Further information was received that Donald's sister had last talked to Donald on February 18th, 2025, and at that time, Donald stated he had been pretty sick and was going to take some time off of social media. Did they speak verbally or was it text messaging? But yeah, you guys, if you're out there, if you can help support the channel tonight, that would be fantastic. We have a massive lulls happening. It's going to be hard to do. We're currently at 3197 and 7 channel members. On February 28, 2025, at approximately 9:50 a.m., Officer Edwards, the school resource officer at Waukesha West High School, also requested a welfare check at the residence, as the defendant had previously had perfect school attendance, but had not been present at school for 2 weeks, and no excused absences had been provided to the school. Let me zoom in. Man, it's so hard to see. Oh, there. Wow, that's way better. No one had called the defendant in as absent, and one email was sent to the school, but they were unable to confirm it came from the family. On February 20th, 2025, at 10:11 a.m., deputies responded to the address and attempted to contact at the residence, but no one answered the door. Deputies asked dispatch to check with local hospitals for the defendant. Law enforcement then checked flocked cameras in the area of the defendant's residence. The last hit on Donald's 2018 Volkswagen Atlas Crossport was on February 23rd, 2025. They then checked flocked for the vehicle registered in the defendant's mother's name, victim B, who's Tatiana, then checked flock for the vehicle registered in the defendant's mother's name, Tatiana, who is I guess you could say, who is Donald's wife, and her vehicle was last seen on flock on February 11, 2025. Dispatch contacted all local hospitals, and none of these residents of that residence were located. Deputy Sponder spoke with victim A. So victim A is Donald, victim B is Tatiana. Okay. Deputy Sponder spoke with victim A's manager at his place of employment, who indicated victim A had been in text message contact with him between February 13, 2025 and February 25, 2025, and victim A stated he was sick and couldn't talk on the phone. Further, deputies discovered that the postman indicated there was a vacation hold on the mail at that address. Officer Edwards had Waukesha West pinged the defendant's school-issued computer, and the last IP address for the computer was in Waukesha on February 23rd. So maybe that's the day he killed them. On February 20th, 2025, Waukesha County Sheriff's Department entered the residence. Oh, well, that doesn't make any sense. So let's see. Officer West pinged the defendant's school-issued computer. Well, it pinged in February 23rd, but then they go into the house on February 20th, 2025 at 1:52 p.m. Waukesha County Sheriff's Department entered the residence for a well-being check and located a deceased female on the first floor hallway. The female was wearing a jacket and had towels over her legs and a blanket over her head. Her face was blackened from decomposition with dried blood on the floor around her. Deputies observed a possible exit wound in the female's back near her right shoulder, and further observed a possible bullet hole in a wall near where the body is located. Deputies observed victim B's vehicle at the residence, but victim A's vehicle was not located at the residence. Deputies spoke with a neighbor identified as Paul Franz, who stated on February 23, 2025 at approximately 12:11 p.m. he was pulled into his residence and he passed victim A's Volkswagen Atlas, and he observed it was being operated by the defendant, who appeared alone. A different neighbor told investigators the family had a small black dog and the dog had not been seen recently. The dog was not located during a search of the residence, and running the defendant's driving record, deputies observed the defendant had not been issued a driver's license. But man, he was driving around with no license, etc. An exigent ping was placed for the defendant and victim A's cell phone, and it was learned both cell phones pinged to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Further information from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department indicated on February 28, 2025 at approximately 5 p.m. the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant on victim A, victim B, and the defendant's residence, and a second deceased subject was located in the first floor office. That subject was a male with gray beard and was covered by a pile of clothing. So it's interesting that he covered the bodies. This deceased male is believed to be victim A. Officers observed an obvious wound to the back of the victim A's head. Through exigency records, advanced location records were obtained, and the defendant's device appeared to leave the Waukesha area on February 24th, 2025 at 10 a.m. and took a general route through Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado, where the exigency records ended. In reviewing the records, the defendant's device appeared to stop at Iowa 80, the world's largest truck stop located in Walcott, Iowa. Maybe we should plot that out really quick. But hey guys, how do we get the support up tonight? I know I'm not doing Kohberger, but is there any chance we could pretend that it's as interesting as those nights? That'd be great. Thank you. Let's see. Took a general route, Illinois. So then it said, the defense device appeared to stop at Iowa 80, the world's largest truck stop. Is that Iowa 80? Yep. Right there. The world's largest truck stop. And that's on 20, let's see, 2025 0224. And that was at 10 a.m. Hey, thanks, Madeline Brewer. Gifted 5 memberships to Brianna, Heather, Margaret Lloyd. And Moofy's always typing in the middle of the membership gifting. It's weird. That's like the second time in a row that you were the 4th one. And then Brenda Stenhouse and Lisa Tedford. You hear what advertise on? What are you talking about? Hey, thanks, Cinnamon Sin Freak. All right. So this is in, let's just click, I'm going to click on the, let me hit places. And is this Walcott? Just make sure. Yeah, so this is the right place. And then it said in Walcott, Iowa, February 24th, 25th, between approximately 2:25 p.m. and 2:50 p.m., Detective Jensen contacted Walcott, Iowa Police Department and requested they check the video of the above date and time to determine if they could observe victim A's Volkswagen Atlas and who may be driving it. Walcott Police Department officer Tim Horahan responded and reviewed the video, and Officer Horahan observed a vehicle matching victim A's Volkswagen Atlas on camera during the above time frame. Based on the defendant's school photo, Officer Horahan believed the lone occupant of the vehicle was the defendant, and he was accompanied by a small black dog. Well, at least he had the dog with him, huh? Most people are more concerned about the dogs in these kind of stories. Oh yeah, Joel, let's go. Joel's been to that truck stop. All right, let's go down here. During a continued search of the residence, there was paperwork indicating victim A had purchased a Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum firearm. By the way, up here when it says, so it went to Illinois, Iowa, what state are we in here? I think it was, that's Iowa. So he went to Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado. So they found him on surveillance early on in the trip. Kind of a, you know, it was up here. He comes down. I guess maybe that's the way to go. I guess, or maybe he's just, why not go like that? During a continued search of the residence, there was paperwork indicating victim A had purchased a Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum firearm, and that firearm was not discovered within the residence. Oh boy. Officer from Waukene Police Department in Kansas performed a traffic stop on victim A's vehicle on February 28, 2025, and approximately 11:25 p.m. I think this story, when we're done with it, is going to be one of the bigger stories. I mean, it is nuts, okay? I've just heard little bits and pieces of it. We're going to go through the whole thing here. I think this is one of those ones, this could have a much larger, you know, this guy's a stepdad, and where'd the mother come from with this kid? You know, pretty weird stuff. And you notice there wasn't her mother calling into the, you know, to check on anybody. So officers from Waukene Police Department in Kansas performed a traffic stop on victim A's vehicle on February 28th at approximately 11:25. The defendant was operating the vehicle, and the family dog was in the vehicle with the defendant. Officers observed in plain view a gun on the passenger side floorboard that was later determined to be a Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum firearm. Further, officers located Victim A and Victim B's driver's licenses, unused ammunition for the 357 Magnum, and spent shell casings. Based upon information and belief, Victim A did not give the defendant permission to operate his VW Atlas, nor did he give consent to remove his Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum. And based on the foregoing, the complaint, so they arrested him on that kind of stuff, you know. And then, let's see. There's another article on March 27th. Disturbing details after prosecutors charge Waukesha teen in deaths of mom and stepfather.
More charges.
And we can just read it. It says Waukesha County prosecutors have charged a teen with first-degree intentional homicide after they said he murdered his mom and stepdad, then lived with their bodies for 2 weeks. I mean, this guy. And that's why he covered the bodies with blankets. Probably didn't want to keep looking at it every day. Prosecutors said Nikita Kassup, 17, shot and killed his mother, Tatiana Kassup, 35, and her husband, Donald Mayer, 51, inside their Waukesha home in February. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Department found their bodies inside the home on February 28th. So they were killed on the 14th. So all of those other times where, like, the vehicle is moving around, that's him driving it. Kassup is facing 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, 2 counts of hiding a corpse, 2 counts of theft, movable property, operating a motor vehicle. Deputies were called to the home for a welfare check. That's the same home we were just looking at. I think. Let's see. Kind of looked similar in my head, but yeah, that's the same shot actually. Let's see, and then a prosecutor said Nikita Kassup had also been absent from school for 2 weeks. According to the complaint, Kassup was taken into custody in Waukene, Kansas. Maybe I should just put that in there for where he was arrested. Let's see where that is. Come on. There we go. Is anybody here? You guys aren't typing very much. So just somewhere in this town. Like, look at that. Just tiny little town. He's probably just pulled over at this, right over here. There we go. Thank you, KXC114. Hey, thank you. There actually are people that really like my show out there. It's weird. It's strange. There's a lot of people that absolutely hate my guts, and I don't really give a damn that they hate my guts. I just try to put out the factual information. That's why I'm doing this one tonight, because there's literally the actual documents coming up here. All right? And that's what I like to do and put it together. What's it say? The defendant continued to live. Okay, let's go down. In court earlier this month, prosecutors said Kassup killed his stepfather, Donald Mayer, by shooting him in the back of the head, then went to school the next day and continued living at home for nearly 2 weeks. In court records, Waukesha police said they found a camera memory card. The card showed Kassup was lighting candles in the office where his stepfather's body was and was sitting and recording the dead body about a week after the murder. Ah, jeez. I bet that is the creepiest looking crap. Police said at one point Kassep stood next to his stepdad's body with his phone out, as if he was going to take a picture, all while videoing himself with the camera. Kassep then said, "So you can see him there. I can literally see the effing rotting body." The defendant continued to live in the residence with the two bodies at the house. He then fled with the $14,000 in cash. I guess that was probably mentioned somewhere in there. We know he was communicating with someone to get fake plates put on the car to hide the car was stolen. Let's see. Boys said after the deaths, Kassep was communicating with someone either in Russian or Romanian. Okay. Now it gets kind of weird. I mean, did this guy come with his mother from Russia? They both have Russian names, or at least Lithuanian, something. It appears this individual was trying to flee the jurisdiction, not only the state, but this country, said Christopher Bailey. Now, this is nuts, you guys. I think I'm just going to skip right over to this. It's starting to remind me of Roush. Remember the Roush guy? He had those. He's the one at Trump's golf course, and he had the Ukrainian connections. That's what this feels like here. Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to open this up. This one's pretty long. It's 34 pages. So I'm just going to skip down to where they start talking about stuff. So here's the probable cause right here. Okay, you guys ready? All right. I'm going to need some super chats to keep the energy going, though, you guys, because this is going to be a lot of reading, and when I'm reading, it always dies down in here. It's like I got to be this clown or something. Woohoo, everybody, yay! All right, and do we have any coffees yet? I think Lisa Valenzuela always gets me one. Yep, there's one from Lisa Valenzuela, but no others. So if you guys are out there and you have the ability to support the channel with the coffees, that'd be great. Oh, there goes my stomach. Okay, there we go. On February 28, 2025, at approximately 9:44 a.m., Donald Mayer, mother JM, contacted the Waukesha County Communications Center to request a welfare check at a residence in Waukesha, Wisconsin. JM stated they were unable to contact the family and learned Nikita Kassep had not attended high school for approximately 2 weeks. Additionally, the school resource officer, SRO, for Waukesha West High School also requested a welfare check and advised that Kassep had been absent for approximately 2 weeks. On February 28, 2025, law enforcement officers from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office conducted a welfare check at approximately 10 a.m. Nikita Kassep, his mother, I think we kind of went, this is sort of similar, right? Let's see. On February 28, 2025, at approximately 1:40 p.m., WCSO deputies entered the residence through the garage and found Tatiana Kassep deceased, likely from gunshot wounds and covered with blankets. WCSO requested emergency cell phone pings from AT&T for Donald Mayer and Nikita Kassep. AT&T provided information that both phones were located in the area of Laramie, Wyoming. Oh, that's interesting. I guess we can put that in there. So way over here, cell phone pings. Parents' phones. I think that's what it said, right? Yeah. A neighbor immediately to the west of the residence, PF provided information to WCSO. Hey, thanks, Allie Cake. And she's got a wave symbol on there, trying to get other people to help. Whenever I'm reading, though, people just sort of fade off into the background, and it's really hard. So it's a hard thing to, get to the goals on the nights when I'm reading, but that's what there is. This is the real information. A neighbor immediately to the west of the residence, PF provided information to WCSO and that there had been little activity at the residence for 2 weeks. On February 23rd, 2025, PF observed Mayer's black SUV driving away from the residence. Well, they were already dead at that point. During a secondary search of the residence, Donald Mayer was located, deceased. How come you guys didn't find him the first time? I mean, it's like, he was just in the office. You didn't think to look in there? Why do you need a whole second search, like he was hidden in a cubbyhole somewhere? During a second search of the residence, Donald Mayer was located deceased from gunshot wounds in the first floor office and also covered in blankets. During the search, a receipt was found for a .357 Magnum revolver, but the firearm was not located in the residence. Based on information obtained by WCSO during the course of the investigation, this is a federal document here, including security footage, cell phone records, and witness statements. Mayer and Tatiana are believed to have been killed on February 11th. Wow, so that's way before. At approximately 6:30 p.m. and 8:40 p.m. respectively. Wow. Footage, including security footage, cell phone records, and witness statements. So they must have heard sounds, etc. .357 Magnums aren't quiet. Maybe I'll put that in there. Definitely gonna need some coffees. Okay, so that's when they were killed. WCA reviewed ping records, which showed that Kassup's phone was stationary on February 24th, 2025 between 2:20 and 2:50 p.m. at the world's largest truck stop. So his cell phone was there, and he was there for 30 minutes. That was in Iowa. The Walcott Police Department provided security footage. Yep, we read that. And it says on February 20th, 2025, at approximately 10 p.m., Mayer's vehicle was listed as stolen, and Kassup was entered into a missing juvenile in NCIC. At 11:25 p.m. that day, the Waukene, Kansas Police Department conducted a traffic stop on Mayer's SUV. An unloaded .357 Magnum revolver was observed in plain view of the front passenger floorboard, boxes of .357 Magnum and .38 special ammunition. Mayer and Tatiana's wallets, large amounts of U.S. currency in euros, and 2 cell phones belonging to Mayer and Kassup were found in the vehicle. That's why it was pinging where he was. Kind of stupid to leave it on, WPD ultimately arrested Nikita Kassup for theft of a vehicle and possession of a firearm and seized cell phone incidents to his arrest. I don't understand that English. Vehicle and possession of a firearm and seized his cell phone incident to his arrest. On March 3rd, 2025, WCSO obtained a search warrant for Kassup's cell phone. And by the way, are you guys even here? Because Allie Cake sent that super chat in about 10 minutes ago, and there's 8 comments. All right. His grandmother, step-grandmother. Let's see. On March 3rd, 2025, WCSO obtained a search warrant for Kassup's cell phone. During their review, identified material on the phone related to the Order of Nine Angels. But if you listen to some other people out there, they said 9 angles. I don't know if it's angles or angels or whatever the hell it is. But anyways, WCSO review of the phone identified, I guess it's angles. It is angles, right? WCA review of the phone identified possible usernames of CASIP, including... See, I got to look this stuff up. So we're going to have to, on the side over here, I'm going to look it up on this program that I have. So hold on. Thank you so much, Cheryl Moran. Yeah, it's so hard to get other people to... But anyways, it says, I appreciate the breaks from Kohberger case. Come on, everyone, let's go. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is I mean, that's just so incredibly generous. But the rest of you guys, I mean, small amounts work too if you all combine together. Just pretend I'm somebody serving you dinner, but it's a 3-hour dinner. You don't have to even give me, as much. You know what I'm saying? Right. I like doing breaks from Kohberger. It's just that it's got to the point where people on social media really only like watching those, the mass people only like that. But I think this stuff here is really interesting at this point. Wow. And geez, you gifted 5 memberships too. So look at, what do you got? You got Speak, Life, Garden, Homestead, and Cherish, and Naomi B, and Uncommon Wealth, and I guess Cindy's down on the list. Having a hard time. Thanks, Cheryl Moran. But she said, let's go freaks. So let's try to do it. All right. I'll get 5 memberships pretty soon, a little later. All right. On March 4th, 2025, WCSO executed a search warrant for Myers' Volkswagen Atlas. During the search, the following items were located in the vehicle: a Pride open safe, women's jewelry, electronics, including iPads, cell phones, and laptops, approximately $14,000, banking documents, hard drives, external storage devices, a simple safe home security sensor, and a something like YI security camera with a micro SD card. WCSO reviewed CASIP's phone and saw images and communications that reference self-described manifesto regarding assassinating the president, making bombs, and terrorist attacks. During WCSO review of Telegram, look here, now we're Telegram. This is the same one that Stephen Stearns was using. Telegram needs to do a better job, okay? During WCSO review of Telegram messages between February 14th and 24th, 2025, messages in Russian were identified from phone notification. I mean, was this guy somebody they sent over to do this? Like, hey, here's my, this hot wife marries an American, but the kid was always somebody. Thank you, Sandy Shirley, for all Alley Cakes Teal Wave. That's right, and Cheryl Moran's joining in on that one. Look how crazy this is, you guys. And it says, reply to them all and say you got sick. Take them to the basement. So it means like, drag them to the basement. WSA review of YI security camera and microSD card that were found in the Volkswagen Atlas revealed footage from February 16th to 22nd, including, I wonder if he was on Telegram and he got put into a situation where he had to, I don't know, man. He was just part of a group on there. I don't think they forced him to do anything because he seemed to like it. I don't know, I guess we'll see, but we've seen that there's these people out there that threaten you. He's 17 years old. WCSO review of the Y camera. So that was between the 16th and 22nd of February. Both parents are already dead on the 11th. So this is 5 and 11 to 11 days later, including CASIP lighting. Let's see, including CASIP lighting are believed to be scented candles. Oh wow! So you had scented candles as lighting, and rummaging through a desk while near a mound of blankets and pillows covering Mayer's body. That's his stepdad. On March 7th to 8th, 2025, a preliminary review of the device image by the FBI for exigent threats revealed the following conversations. So this is on TikTok. Awoken. Oh, by the way, what was that? Let's go back up there really quick. What was the name of that? Right here. All right, so I'm on this site. I'm going to go look this stuff up really quick. I'm going to put this guy's name in here. Let's see. Accelerationist 14. And there's a username portion on here. I just want to see what it comes up with. So hold on a second. And then he had another one called Awoken. That's probably a lot of people with that one. That first one, probably not. Hasn't found anything yet. Okay, let me try this. Well, Awoken is pretty, like, I could see a lot of people having that. Let's try it again. Let's try that one. I have to pay money for these tokens on this one site. Substack. This is, I think there's a lot of people with that one. Yeah. Probably something on here is related to that, but all right. I am going to keep reading here. So Woken, YK, it's kind of interesting how I told this girl best friend about how I follow 09A teachings, and is that the something of angels or and whatnot, and she was pretty chill about it. Awoken, I feel like mostly people would freak out. Awoken, HBU, does anyone, what does that mean? IRL, it's like, I know that's one of those, abbreviations. What's IRL stand for, you guys? In text message jargon. Anybody remember? Oh, in real life. Okay, that's right. I used to know that, but forgot it. All right. In real life, 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 in real life. Hey, hit that like button, you guys. HBU, does anyone in real life know you are into 09A Charlie Manson? Mystic Physicists, well they know. And then Awoken said, my parents don't know, LOL. They would take away my phone away if they did, especially since last year FBI visited. Yeah, apparently they visited. They were concerned with his comments. Mystic Physicist said, my parents know. Let me try that name. Let me look at this one. I'm going to throw that in this lookup. Let's see what it does. Got allergies. I was outside a lot of the day today. Oh wow! Look at this. Look at this craziness. When I put that in there, that's Charles Manson right there with the mystic physicist. See? So that's got to be some connection to that. That's pretty weird. That's on Tumblr. Mystic physicist. Interesting. Let me put it in there without the space. Yeah, I think that's the same one. Yeah, that's all there was. That's the only thing that was on there, was the Charles Manson on the Tumblr account. Weird, because it mentioned Charles Manson right there. Charlie Manson? See, and that makes you wonder, you know, like this mystic physicist person, if they were just talking to them. And they mentioned Manson because that's what they have as their picture. Let me go back up here, and maybe I think it means the Order of 9 Angels right here. So the Order of 9 Angels is O9A. So I guess what we could do is look up that, or angels, not angels. Sorry. I don't know if he just misspelled that, or Order of 9 Angels. The Order of 9 Angels is a satanic left-hand path and terrorist network that originated in the United Kingdom but has since branched out. Order of 9 Angels. What is the... It's an obscure Nazi Satanist group. Dangerous organization and bad actors. That's crazy. Whew, wow. That's nuts, huh? So now we're down here. Are you over 18? Because I'm not. Thus, they still have control to take away stuff. Me neither. And your parents don't care? No. Some guy named... Now, let me put this guy in there, if you guys don't mind. I thought it was interesting, though, that it actually had the... I'm going to put that. And do a search for that username. Just see what pops up on it. Nihilus. Hey, dude. And, yeah, that one's in there. Got a YouTube channel, even. Hell, do we need to go check that out? Hold on. I forgot how to do it. Like, if you go to a channel, what happens if you click on... I just want to click on... So I don't know. You have to. I think you have to put like /channel and put it in there, and that works. Oh, there you go. Boom. So there's Nihilus, a person that's communicating right there. There might be another person with the same name, but do you know any Telegram group where Niners and Drecks can interact and exchange info? That's what this Nihilus guy, or Nihilus, maybe it's Nihilus. Alright, you guys, having one of those massive lulls again. If you guys can please help support the channel tonight, that would be great. We need, if you get another 20 in there, I'll donate 5 memberships myself. Alright, so let's keep going. Awoken, sorry, no, I'm mostly in NSWP crew, TG groups, LOL. Awoken, if you do find any, it'd be nice if you tell me. Then Nihilus says, what's WP? Awoken said, Wikipedia, National Socialism, White Power. And illness. Oh, white power. Cool. Do you know why 09A Telegram, any 09A Telegram groups? Okay, we're on page 7. What was the name of that again? The Order of Nine Angles. Probably like Anglo-Saxon. That's probably what it's. Do you know any? Do you know why Order of Nine Angel Telegram? Do you know any groups about that? You mean any 09A Telegram groups? Yeah, that's what they typed in. Yeah. Well, what do you mean? Yeah, typo. Do you know why? Oh, why? He said any. Okay. Yeah, typo. LOL. Oh, not a group, but a channel. You can find documents there. All right, send. Wow, so this is like you can actually take that and put it into. Where does that go? It doesn't. It takes you to Telegram. It's a private group. So yeah. Can you send me the link to the account? It says I can't access the message. Right, because you have to be. How can I do that? Wait a second. Here's mine. Wow, so you can sign in. TG username. I send a message. Okay. Accelerationist. What country do you think will get the blame for this? Russia will be blamed for it. This is the goal. So they're communicating with somebody who's trying to get him to do something to President Trump. If you can, I mean, this is crazy. Accelerationist. When the time comes for me to send my manifesto to you so that you can spread it online, should it be a PDF file? And also, you won't anyhow change or modify the manifesto. Unknown. Write on a piece of, so this is an unknown name here. Write on a piece of paper and take a picture of it. Thanks, Sandy Shirley. In appreciation of our mods, Alley Cake. Alley Cake's Teal Wave. Alright. FBI personnel performing the preliminary review also saw images of a 3-page document entitled Accelerate the Collapse. The images, which appear to be screen grabs of a document that was displayed on the phone, were created on February 28, 2025. The document appears to be the manifesto reference by Accelerationist in the messages, with the unknown user in the above paragraph, calling for the assassination of the President of the United States in order to foment a political revolution in the United States and save the white race from Jewish-controlled politicians. I mean, what a nut job. The third page of the document contained images of Adolf Hitler with text, Heil Hitler, etc. Excerpts from the 3-page document include, it is clear that Jews control all the white countries, and it's clear that they promote white genocide and degeneracy. No, they don't do any of those things. This, for the white race to survive, it is necessary to accelerate the collapse of the countries. Jewish-occupied governments must fall. The white race cannot survive unless America collapses. What an absolute pile of crap. As to why specifically Trump, I think it's obvious. By getting rid of the president and perhaps the vice president, that is guaranteed to bring in some chaos. And not only that, but it will further bring into the public the idea that assassinations and accelerating the collapse are possible things to do. Now, what if you say you aren't capable of committing these acts? This is perfectly fine for now. The next best thing you can do is to tribe and train. Make connections. Join white conscious martial arts clubs, because once America collapses, there would have to be a network that can take it places. Reading is also important. Read Siege by James Mason, Militant Accelerationist, The Hard Reset by Terrorism, Redstone Killers, Good Source Regarding Sabotage, A Call to Arms by, I think it's Jurek Kratchik or something. The American Futurists have a lot of really good articles. They're former Adam Waffen guys, and there is sure much to learn from the success and mistakes of Adam Waffen. Use Yandex to find bomb-making instructions and those books if you already know the reality of situations, that there is no political solutions. Then I would just focus on reading practical material, such as the ways to do attacks. Terrorism Publications and Redstone Killer talks of this. If you already know of all that and are just waiting for a signal, well, then this is your signal to act. Jewish politicians and billionaires have names and addresses. Find out what they are and, take them out. That's ridiculous. As a side note, the other attacks that may occur, I have no idea what they are, who they target. I have no idea, even if they are same ideology as I. Point being, this manifesto is specifically for the attack that targets Trump. That'll never be a perfect revolutionary situation that springs up out of nowhere. We need to create a revolutionary situation ourselves. I do agree that only if terrorism is sustained over a period of time can it be effective. In short, huge amounts of violence will be required. Long past are the days when we can vote for a Hitler to save us. It is time we stop. Well, I thought you guys all said that Trump was Hitler. Wouldn't you want to keep him in office? The best day to commit an attack is today. The next best day is tomorrow. It is time that we lead the way to the system collapse. Do absolutely anything you can that will lead to the collapse of America or any other country you live in. This is the only way that we can save the white race. White revolution is the only solution. All right, so if you guys do 3 more memberships up there, I'll donate 5, okay? Okay, nihilist violent extremists are individuals who engage in criminal conduct with the United States and abroad in furtherance of political, social, or religious goals that derive primarily from a hatred of society at large and a desire to bring about the collapse by sowing indiscriminate chaos, destruction, and social instability. NVEs work individually or as part of a network with these goals or of destroying civilized society through the corruption and exploitation of vulnerable populations, which often include minors. NVEs, both individually as a network, systematically and methodically target vulnerable populations across the United States and the globe. NVEs frequently use social media communication platforms to connect with the individuals and desensitize them to violence by, among other things, breaking down social norms regarding engaging in violence, normalizing the possession, production, and sharing of gore material and otherwise corrupt, and grooming those individuals toward committing future acts of violence. So this is like the whole, I don't know if I want to keep reading that crap. How about this conspiracy part down here? Any takers? We need 3 more memberships for me to get 5. Come on, freaks. You've kind of just left it up to like 4 people tonight. I think, you know, if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, that's what I'm asking for, because you guys are the only option when you do these live streams. There is no chance that this live stream will be monetized because of the topic. Hey, somebody named Gray Pearl was gifted a membership. Wow, looks just like me. Has the glasses and everything. Really weird. Well, there's 2 of them, but we need 2 more. FBI personnel performing the preliminary review also saw an image with information of how to utilize a drone as an attack drone. The information contains directions on how to extend the range of an attack drone by using repeater drones and ways to avoid detection, such as making a drone from a kit rather than a commercial off-the-shelf brand. The instructions provide directions to use a small dropper to drop an explosive Molotov cocktail or very strong topical poison. Additionally, to avoid detection, the instructions advise to not bring a cell phone. FBI personnel performing the preliminary review also saw a Telegram direct message conversation with... let's try that. That's a name, right? Let me throw that in there. That's not it. There we go. Thanks, Cheryl Moran. I mean, I really appreciate it, but I mean, I wish other people were helping a little bit. Thank you. It makes it feel lucky instead of like just a good show or something. All right, here we go. I'm going to give 5 myself. But really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And there we go. So how many we got? We got Z&J Mama, CJ Sky, Noreen, McCall, and Desimone. Wow, Cindy, you're not getting the free one. See, Dog in a Pile, Sandy, Shammy, Cinnamon Girl. Wow, there's another one. Cinnamon Sin Freak, and we got Cinnamon Girl. And there we go. How long? Listen to these comments down here, by the way. So he messaged somebody with an obviously Russian, somebody with a Russian name, who writes in Cyrillic and has the Ukrainian mobile telephone number of 380. So this person is in the Ukraine, you know, which there's probably people there because we're trying to resolve the conflict over there, are angry. And I think that's similar to Rausch, you know, that Ryan Ruth guy, actually, that tried to attack Trump on the golf course. You know, and then he was shot by the Secret Service, or shot at by the Secret Service agent who missed him from like 5 feet away. Now, how long will I need to hide before I will be moved to Ukraine? So he's communicating with somebody who's trying to get him to do this. And after the killing, this guy isn't going to help him. There's no way in hell. He doesn't realize it, though. 1 or 2 months, he asked. Also, I probably should brush up on my Russian, because I can understand just fine, but speaking is harder. LOL. So while in Ukraine, so this 17-year-old kid, understands Russian. His mother's Russian. He's got, you know, did they come from Russia as some like longer plot to do this? That's wild. Why do you want me to whistle again, Vi? Let's see. I don't know, my nose is just plugging up. I just saw Gray's Linda Lane camera video where the guy chased him. Yeah, he's crazy. People think I should have stopped and like started fighting. I don't know anything about these people. He just jumped out of nowhere. Didn't you think that was creepy as hell, that guy? Jesus. I mean, in real life, I mean, not real, that was real life, but if, I mean, a situation where I was armed or something, I don't know what I would have done. That guy was just absolute nut job. Just hops out of the, give me your phone, give me your phone. Yeah, and it was live. I was live streaming. And people always make fun of me because of it. It was so stupid. I know. No, I wasn't on his property, Kirsten. That's what a lot of the idiots think out there. You know, it's amazing. They always go, Gray, you were trespassing. No, I wasn't. I was in a parking lot. I even called the cops. They showed up and I said, yeah, I was walking through an apartment parking lot. And he said it was private property. And they go, no, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah. And they said, did he touch you? I go, no, he tried to. And then they go, well, we can't do anything. But, and then that idiot, he followed me around the neighborhood, for God's sakes. I know, he's absolutely a crazy person. And guess what that guy is? He's the one that owns all of the surveillance footage. He's the one that put out the 1330 and 1320, and somehow that one little part's missing. Nah, he probably wasn't, Kirsten. He wasn't sick of random people walking around. I think what happened was I was out there, and one of you psychos, like you, Kirsten, probably called him up on the phone and said, oh, there's a guy walking around. He's right there. Okay? Because he didn't even know I was there. I didn't bother anybody. I didn't see a soul. He just hops out. And nobody was doing what I was doing. I'm the only person to go do what I was doing. All right? I'm the only person that even knew what the hell they were doing out there. Hey, thanks, Ashley Nicole. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. What? What the F? Maybe he was just tired of it. Okay. Jesus. Have a better brain. There's no... hey, troll. Hey, Vi, I know you're probably from the troll community, but... don't worry about it. Let's see. God, here we go. See how you get these people? The passive-aggressive type like Kirsten. They come in, they try to needle you, get you going, and then if you respond to them, they blame you. This is just how I am. I'm actually in a good mood. Just goofing around. You're a nut job. Okay? That's just the truth. Anyways, and I was just thinking about how that went. It was pretty freaky. Yeah, it was. He was like absolute crazy person coming out of there. Right, Kirsten. Right. Hey, Kirsten, if your next comment isn't associated with the case that we're covering, I'm going to time you out for the rest of the day, okay? Because you came in here, you disrupted the entire show, had nothing to do with that, and now I'm going to move on. If your next comment is about something else, I'm timing you out for the rest of the day. All right, here we go. Let's see. Do you even know what we're talking about? Do you even know what we're talking about, Kirsten? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Just wait. If mods, the next comment that Kirsten makes, if it's not about this case, put her timer that person out for the next 24 hours. All right. Thank you very much. All the rest of you can talk about whatever the hell you want. All right. That's awesome. What an idiot. Okay. Anyways, how long will I need to hide before I will be moved to the Ukraine? 1 to 2 months. Also, I probably should brush up on Russian because I can understand just fine, but speaking is harder. So that means he grew up over there. So while in Ukraine, I'll be able to get a normal job and have a normal life, even if when it's found out I did it. Let's see. And then it says, do the other 10 people also have similar beliefs to I, or are they different? Assuming that my parents won't leave. Remainder of message cut off. Probably like, leave me alone or something. And FBI personnel performing the preliminary review also saw a Telegram direct message conversation with Angel of Death. Username at Angel. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's see. This one's kind of unusual. So I'm going to put that in over here. Let's see what that one comes up with. Get rid of that. All right, here we go. Obviously, that person wasn't interested in anything else that we were talking about. Notice that? They had no idea. This is creepy. That means, I think there's these Russian agents that were communicating with this kid who's from Russia but living over here, and were able to get through to him to try to, or maybe they're Ukrainian. If he's actually saying, I want to go to the Ukraine, these might be Ukrainians. And then I could see the, like why somebody would be, they're probably, some of the people in Ukraine are probably pissed off that we're not sending them billions and billions of dollars again. So there's nothing on that name there in this system. What's the other name? Yeah, I still have to ask. Let me try that one. What's that one called? Assel something. All right, I'm looking that one up right now. Doesn't have any. Okay, it does a Telegram account. Boom. Isn't that crazy? Look at that right there. Telegram. And that's exactly where this communication is going on. And that's the only reference to that username is Telegram. And it says, anyway, yeah, so the drone would drop a bomb with nuts, bolts, needles, so I will need that. Angel of Death, the total amount will be $1,200 to $1,500. Payment by something like Bitcoin. Waiting time is 7 to 10 days. The ID 2000 to 500 model is reserved for you. Do you confirm the purchase? Wow. So this Angel something or other is selling it. Yeah, I'm aware you will only start working once I've paid you, so I'll text you when I can pay. That includes the headphones as well. Quality 1 to protect hearing from gunshots of a .357 Magnum. Just making sure. And it says Bitcoin wallet address. That was in that spot. That's your Bitcoin address, correct? Just making sure. So once the transfer is complete and I'll be able to pick it up, is it just the drone with the dropping mechanism or also explosives? How much will 200 wheels cost for this bike? Is that code for something? How much will 200 wheels cost for this bike? That sounds like that's code for something. What do you guys think? How much will 200 wheels cost for this bike? FBI personnel performing the preliminary exigency review also saw a direct message conversation with an individual, Forrest, who writes in Cyrillic that contained messages to obtain a different license plate and coordinates along with driving directions from a current location in southwest Wyoming through Kansas to locate to a location near Pumpkin Center, Oklahoma. Additionally, username, All right, here we go. Alexander 802. I'm just checking all of these. A few of them have shown up. I'm using an online sort of dark web thing that goes out and checks. Yeah, so we've got this, it says Quizlet. Pinterest. Kick. Telonym. Now there's a Cash App. I don't know. I mean, it says 802. I don't know if that... All these people have that? It seems like this is multiple people. For sure. Got a massive map on there. Yeah. Alright. FBI personnel... Well, actually below that it said... and then from there to Eureka, California... Is it 30 hours? You think I'll have enough time? FBI personnel performing the preliminary review also saw images created on February 28, 2025 of the front and back of Mayor's American Airline AA Advantage credit card, PNC Bank debit card, BMO Harris Bank debit card, Armed Forces identification card, and driver's license. FBI personnel also saw an image displaying the username and password for BMO bank account. On March 10, 2025, WCSO interviewed a classmate of Cassip. The classmate stated that Cassip would send gore edit videos that included flashing, gory, and war images put to Russian music via Snapchat. Cassip told the classmate he intended to kill his parents by shooting them, but did not have access to a gun. He later told the classmate that he would befriend someone with a gun and then steal the gun. Cassip told the classmate he was in contact with a male in Russia via telegram and then planning to overthrow the government of the United States and assassinate President Trump. Cassip told the classmate that when they saw 10 consecutive attacks in the news, it would have been him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought it was interesting how Ruth also has a Ukrainian sort of association. I mean, he wanted to, it's kind of the same thing. Like, he wanted to go over there, and he did go there, as a matter of fact. In sum, Cassip appears to have written a manifesto calling for the assassination of the President of the United States. He was in touch with other parties about his plan to kill the President and overthrow the government of the United States. And he paid for, at least in part, a drone and explosives to be used as a weapon of mass destruction to commit an attack. The killing of his parents appeared to be an effort to obtain the financial means and autonomy necessary to carrying out his plan. Other parties with whom Cassip was in contact appear to have been aware of his plan and actions and to have provided assistance to Cassip in carrying them out. The property to be searched includes a series of devices which were seized pursuant to state search warrant in state of Wisconsin Circuit Court and executed by Waukesha County Sheriff's Office. On February 28, 2025 and March 2025, respectively, search warrants were signed in the state of Wisconsin Waukesha County Circuit Court with which authorized the search of the residence. Let's see. During the execution of these warrants, the following items were seized: computer HP Pavilion, computer HP Tower, computer HP ProDesk, a hard drive Cloud Key, laptop Apple laptop model 82179. Then it says A6 laptop, or that's just the number. Laptop Apple, computer HP laptop. I mean, how many laptops do you need, by the way? Cell phone from cabinet in kitchen, iPhone. WCSO, and then it says camera. Sony CyberShot, that's the type of camera that Jodi Arias had. Hers was a CyberShot, I think 9 or something like that. And then AZ421, Coolpix B500, computer table iPad in purple case, computer tablet, blue iPad Air heavy damage, home security cameras, recovered from cabinet in dining room. That's kind of weird. Camera identifier. Let's see. Ubiquiti Video Mac. Trail camera. Black back. Also on March 3rd, 2025, a search warrant was signed in the state of Wisconsin, Waukesha County Circuit Court, which authorized the search of the following 2 devices, which were seized by Waukene, Kansas Police Department during their arrest of Nikita Kasep on February 28, 2025. Let's see. Cell phone, gray iPhone. Cell phone rose gold with gold trim. On March 3rd, 2025, a search warrant was signed in the state of Wisconsin. They got hard drive, external storage, thumb drive, SD card, cards, 2 digital watches, cell phone black Apple iPhone, laptop ThinkPad, tablet iPad, digital book Kindle, laptop MacBook, iPad, laptop Dell Latitude. Let's see, laptop Dell Latitude. Laptop HP Spectre, iPad Air in colorful case, iPad rose color, iPad rose, gold, and then iPad silver iPad. It says WC items, all that crap. Based on my knowledge, training, and experience, I know that electronic devices can store. This is all just form stuff here. That's just stuff they put in the documents. And so these are all the computer HP Pavilion, computer HP Tower, computer HP ProDesk hard drive, laptop, Apple laptop, computer, Panasonic laptop, cell phone, Sony CyberShot, Kodak AZ421, Coolpix B500. I think these are the same things we just went over. This is just at the end. Okay. All records are each devices described in attachment A that relate to violations of Title 18 weapons of mass destruction, including, these are, again, this is form, they're not, this isn't new information. So that's pretty much it. That's the same list again. Let's see. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's pretty crazy, you guys. So it goes from, he's over in his house, and he, for some reason, he ends up killing both of his parents, and he follows like the order of 9 angles, and then he, through that investigation, it turns out he's online communicating with Russians or people that speak Russian, perhaps. Other, I don't really know the bad actors over there, and they're trying to convince him to take out President Trump. So then they found all these communications on Telegram. He was trying to learn how to build a drone as a bomb, etc. But these people were probably just egging them on, and they weren't going to do anything. He was just believing what they were saying. But It kind of makes sense, though, if there's Ukrainian... Because it sounded like, okay, so I got to move to the Ukraine, and so that's where he wants to go. So it doesn't seem like it's a Russia-backed thing. It would be a Ukrainian thing if it's real, right? Pretty weird. Pretty strange stuff, you guys. Let's see, will he be considered domestic terrorist? Let's see. Well, he didn't, I mean, like attempted domestic terrorist. He didn't do anything yet. He killed his parents, but I don't think that counts as terrorism. Good night, everyone. Hey, good night. Linda Howell is in Linda Mul. How you doing, Linda Howell? You feeling any better? Thanks for being here. Yeah. So I guess we'll just keep following this one. Man, that could turn into something bigger at some point. I mean, it's interesting that he's from over there. If he can understand it, that means he came from there, and his name and his mom, and they obviously probably came over here, and they get married, and so the mom is only 36 years old with a 17-year-old kid, so she was 19, and then she's marrying a guy that's 50-something years old. Kind of makes you wonder, like, how long have they been married? How did that all go down? But it probably was legit, I guess, because she got killed too, so she must not have been part of a bigger plot, but maybe the kid, just sort of, who knows? I'm not sure how it would all go down. Maybe his parent, mom or dad, or didn't like Trump anyways, but they weren't letting him do stuff, so he goes online and he finds these people out there that are kind of into what he's into, and I don't know. Pretty strange. Yeah, that one comment made it sound like he was in the military. It's like a military ID card. But he's only 17, so I don't know how that would work. Well, I don't know, you guys. I don't have any more to add to that. That's just kind of where it stands right now. I was thinking there was more information in there, but it just turned out it was all form stuff. Yeah, it could be ROTC, yeah. For sure. Well, what do you guys want to talk about now? And by the way, if you guys are newer to my channel, I think if you had been here when I was covering the Trump assassination in Butler, Pennsylvania, you would realize just how much better my channel is in terms of figuring shit out than just about every other one that's out there. I mean, that's like the perfect example of it. If you were here during that, like, I put together these videos, found out a whole bunch of stuff that nobody had found out in terms of the videos and the timing and everything, and put it out there, and it was like, I was in my element at that point. All the different surveillance footage, and I was able to get the pieces out there, put it together, and it was crazy. I figured out where the different shots came from, which guy on the ground did the shot that missed up there, where the shots came from that actually took out the shooter, etc., etc., etc. You guys remember all that? Yeah, well, you should go back and watch those. They were crazy. Yeah, maybe. Yes. Crazy time. And then just not too long after that, some other person tried to take him out at his golf course. And a Secret Service agent shot at the guy from about 10 feet away and missed. Yeah. It's good to know we got those sharpshooters there, huh? Come on, you guys. You guys don't remember that coverage? That was some good stuff. I think everybody fell asleep on the last one. There's hardly any comments in here. Just dead as a doornail. Well, I guess that's going to do it. Whenever I see it that dead, it's just, there's no, there's no point. Nobody's typing, nobody's talking. Hey, thank you, Curly Lock Diva. Curly Low CD Iva. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to read there. But hey, thank you for gifting a membership to Tina Bobina. Eli. Yeah, I thought it was good stuff too, Paulette, but apparently there's nobody here that was watching it when I was doing that. Hey, thanks, Emily Marie. Appreciate it. Why not, Sandy? Whenever it just dies down and nobody's typing, what's the point? Like, that means nobody's interested. It's just sort of a, we're just listening, Gray. Nah. That's not how it goes. You know how it is. Let's see. I mean, at least we made the goal tonight. That's pretty good on a non. If my nose was a super chat, I'd retire. I mean, I can't even. That's just crazy. I'm not sure what happened. I think it's Curly Lock Diva. Or Diva. Curly Lock Diva. There you go. Probably a hairstylist, let me guess. Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting myself, because it kind of went from sort of a classic, oh, here's a guy that killed his parents, into something much darker and deeper. I've been showering. Hard to text and shower. Yeah, I'm not expecting you, when you're in the shower, to be texting or messaging in the chat. Yeah, that's for sure. I can promise you that. 20 bike wheels, ammo rounds, a military ID. I don't know what that means. He said 200 bike wheels. Let me see what that is. Oh, I see. The number 200 likely represents the tire's section width in millimeters. I don't know. Is that right? While less common, 200 might be used in rare death. No, that's not what that is. Nice try, though, AI. All right, what do you guys want to talk about now? How about we just do Q&A for a while? What do you guys want to know? Definitely going to keep following this. If you see any updates with new information, send it over. I think I wonder what the president must be being briefed on the real information that's going on behind the scenes. And, wouldn't it be interesting if it came back to leadership over there in Ukraine? Well, I just did the Google AI and it didn't know. Here, let me open up that document again and type in 200 and find that exact reference. How much will 200... No, it wasn't... It said, how much will 200 wheels cost for this bike? Okay, so that could mean that. All right, let's try it. I'll try Cindy's idea. Yo, what does mean,
Yo. That question, saying how much will 200 wheels cost for this bike, is basically asking, what's the total price if I want to buy 200 wheels that are used for this specific bike? It sounds kind of weird because bikes only use 2 wheels,
right.
but the person might be buying extra wheels, maybe for manufacturing, resale, or repairs. Asking for a bulk quote like a supplier deal. Just trying to get the unit price multiplied by 200. So if a single wheel costs $50, then 200 wheels x $50 equal to $10,000. Ah, got it. That hits different. If it's from a manifesto, especially in a dark or violent context, then that line, sheet how much will 200 wheels cost for this bike, is almost definitely not literal. Let's break it down like a code or metaphor, assuming it's not about actual bikes. Possible interpretations. 1. Metaphorical language in bike might symbolize a plan, movement, or mission. Wheels could represent people, components, or resources needed to make it move. So, how much will 200 wheels cost for this bike could mean, what's the price in money, effort, or consequences of mobilizing 200 parts people to get this plan rolling? 2. Euphemism or code. Wheels might stand for bodies or lives. In some violent manifestos, perpetrators use objectifying language to dehumanize victims. So 200 wheels and 200 victims? Pain bike might be symbolic for the killing mechanism, event, or even the killer themselves. So then it's like, what will...
So like if he killed 200 people, how much would he get for that? Right? How much will 200 wheels, those are people, cost? Let's see, how much will 200 wheels... Well, no, he's asking how much would it cost. How much will 200 wheels cost for this bike? He could be saying, how much would I make if I killed 200 people in this event?
Will it cost me to kill 200 people with this method plan? 3. Cryptic planning language. Could be a way to mask true intent while discussing logistics of violence, especially if this line is buried among others like a fuel for the engine, an ungrease the gears, etc. Context is key. Do you have more lines from the manifesto, or the theme it was written under, e.g. hate-driven, philosophical, nihilistic, etc., that it helped decode the tone more accurately? Because bro, if this line is in something like the Unabomber's writing, it means one thing. But if it's in something like Elliot Rodgers or Brenton Tarrant's manifestos, it means something much darker and metaphorical. You want to drop more lines from it?
Well,
I can help dissect them, no sweat.
Like that really wasn't from the manifesto. It was part of a communication he had. Now let's see what it does if I have it break down. Let's see. Let's have you summarize this document. Okay, here we go.
Sure thing. Go ahead and upload the document you'd like me to summarize. Once I have it, I'll
Thanks,
break
KB.
it down in full detail, especially if it's a manifesto or something cryptic.
Thanks, Kami. And yes, you too out there, if you'd like to support the channel. $2, even like that, those kind of things all help out. When everybody pulls in together, we're still trying to make up for that one day. Yesterday didn't even make up for that one. That one day was just, you know, when I dared do a cold case night. All right, it's going to summarize it.
Here's a detailed summary of the search warrant affidavit and related documentation in the case of Nikita Kasap, filed in the Eastern District of Wisconsin on March 18, 2025. Summary of the case: United States vs. Nikita Kasap, case number 25.
Wait, let me. I want to hear bro mode though. Can you summarize this in great detail, but in bro mode? It's more fun to listen to, you guys, to be honest. Wow, so it did it. I guess it doesn't know how to do that. Maybe it didn't take that in. Oh, I didn't hit enter yet. Jeez, no wonder. Guess you have to hit the enter button. Wow, it's struggling with that. I don't think I've ever seen it take that long. Yeah, you too, Marylise. That'd be great. You know, we still only have one. Oh, we got Mike Weber got me coffee too, so we got 2 coffees tonight. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This thing is really. Are you struggling? I think it froze. Summarize. Let's see. In bro mode, summarize the same document. Okay.
Alright, bro. Buckle up. Here's the no-chill bro mode. Breakdown of the Nikita Kasap warrant doc. This thing reads like a Netflix original villain origin story, except it's real and way darker. TLDR, kid goes full radical, kills his parents, plans to assassinate the president with a bomb-dropping drone, all while flexing Hitler memes and 09 a fanboy vibes. Feds ain't having it. Who's this guy? Nikita Kasap, high school kid from Wisconsin. Was chillin' in school 1 minute, ghosted for 2 weeks the next. Turns out he wasn't skipping class. He was allegedly murdering his parents and going full Bond villain. What did he do? February 11th, 2025, allegedly shot and killed mom and stepdad at home, covered their bodies with blankets like a twisted housekeeping job. Jacked stepdad's 357 Magnum, SUV, wallet, and even their dog like what? Dipped and hit the road like it was GTA V Domestic Terror Edition. How'd he get caught? Mom's friend plus school resource officer were like, "Tio, where's Nikita?" Cops checked the house, find dead bodies, pinged phones, both his and stepdad's, in freaking Wyoming. Spotted in Iowa, stopped in Kansas. Inside the SUV, the gun, stacks of cash, burner phones, ammo, parents' IDs, and a dead giveaway of a road trip gone rogue. Digital forensics equal to plot twist. Feds crack into his phone and, boom, manifesto, title, accelerate the collapse, which is just edgy code for start race war, kill politicians. Target, Donald Trump. Bro wasn't even subtle about it. Fanboying Hitler with phrases like, "Tail Hitler, hail the white race," spitting lines like, "but no political solution," "kill Jewish politicians," "read siege," "train," "join Nazi MMA gyms," Telegram chats with extremists. Handle, accelerationist 14. Like, bruh, might as well have named yourself indefinite Leonent B-list. Drone terror plan, chatted with a shady dude called Angel of Death.
That's pretty good. Right here it says, handle, acceleration 14. Like, bruh, might as well have named yourself at I'm definitely on an FBI list. Yeah, well, he was.
Because, of course, ordered a drone with a bomb-dropping rig paid in Bitcoin, talked explosives, IEDs, and even mentioned needing hearing protection for his. Whoa. Like he was prepping for a weekend war crime, then hits the line.
You know that weird sound? I don't know what that is, but it's the actual software.
How much will 200 wheels cost for this bike? Equal to coded question for bulk gear, parts, maybe even victims, who knows? FBI caught the vibe, and yeah, it was sinister. His mindset? Online chats show he was deep in neo-Nazi, white supremacist, apocalyptic Telegram hell, flexing about how he kept 09 stuff from his parents. Even said, "An FBI visited us last year but didn't find anything, LOL." FBI noted, Russian connections? DM'd a dude with a Ukrainian number asking, "When can I move to Ukraine?" Do the other 10 people believe the same stuff? Will I still get a normal life if I kill the president? Bro was trying to line up an escape plan, like he's some white supremacist Jason Bourne. What did they seize? 20-plus laptops, iPads, phones, thumb drives, SD cards. Basically his entire evil lab. Surveillance cams, security system footage of him lighting candles next to his stepdad's body, creepy AF. Dude was living in the murder scene like it was just a Tuesday. Charges on deck, conspiracy 18 USC SS 371. Attempted assassination of POTUS 18 USC SS 1751. Weapons of mass destruction, 18 U.S. CSS 2332A. If there was a most wanted emo supervillain starter kit, this kid had it. Bottom line, bro, Kassap wasn't just messed up. He was radicalized, methodical, and dead serious. His parents, gone. His goal, full-blown domestic terrorism. He was coordinating across borders, ordering drones, talking martyrdom, and planning a multi-stage attack straight out of the terrorism playbook. But he messed up, left too many receipts, too many digital fingerprints, and got snagged before he could go full live-action siege LARP. Want it turned into a YouTube video script, podcast script, or straight-up roast? Just say the word, bro.
Yeah, it's such a great... I mean, that was an incredibly good summarization, wasn't it? Like, that's exactly what that whole document said. Like, if you listen to that, you'd go, oh, okay, I get it. Wow, that's crazy. It was all in there. I think it's even easier to understand in bro mode, if you can believe that. It's crazy. It's like it's even better to understand because it's like, okay, yeah, you know, you get a little sarcasm and you're like, yeah, that is kind of... Took him, but they didn't say he was with him when they found him. Who? Who are you talking about? I mean, I'm talking about, I don't know what Lisa Cindy's referring to. Well, anyways, what else do you guys have? Yeah. See, everyone focuses on dogs and stuff. Like, if you said, oh, he killed his parents, what about the dog? He killed a dog. What? He killed a dog? But, you know, no anger for the parents, you know. It's wild. Well, see, because dogs, they don't have the ability to, you know. Right. It's just weird how people do that all the time. I think it's part of the, what do you call it? The, when people, what's that term? When people try to show that they're morally superior all the time. Virtue signaling. Yeah, they're virtuous. I mean, I care about them all, but it's just bizarre how you could tell a story and go, yeah, everybody, man, there's this crazy story today. This mother went into her house, took a machete and chopped up all of the people in the house, even her kids and her husband, and then took her own life later. And people are like, wow, that's sad. And she also killed one of their dogs. Are you kidding me? She should be... Right? It's amazing. You see that almost every single case. And I'm always going, what? People? You know, I mean, there was kids killed too, you know. Well, good. I'm glad they did. Anyways, you guys, I think I'm going to take off. You know, kind of has a weird vibe in here. So I want to say thank you to this account. And then this account gifted 5 memberships. And sent it a super chat. That was very cool. I haven't seen her since then. And then Allie Cake, Bicky White, and Melanie Summer gifted a membership. Then Marilise. Then we have Madeline Brewer gifted 5 memberships. Then Cinnamon Sin Freak. And then Joel Burnt. And then KXC114. Then Allie Cake. Then Cheryl Moran gifted 5. Now, I'm pretty sure before that she just did a double cat eye, which is 100. So, basically, I think without her, I mean, you know, like, it's crazy. Tonight would have been just a horrendous night other than a few people, so I appreciate that. And then Sandy Shirley, and then Allie Cake, and then Cheryl Moran with another 5. So that's, that's very generous right there. Then I gifted 5. Then Ashley Nicole gifted a membership. Then Blaze Fairchild. Then KXC114. And then Curly Lock Diva. Emily Marie, and K-Me. Then we had just 2 coffees. We had Lisa Valenzuela and Mike Weber. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Probably have to get back to Kohberger, But if there's any updates in this one, that'd be cool. Now, is there other modes other than bro mode? Like, I wonder if you could say, let's see if I went like break it down in British wording, and then switch it over to a different person over here. All right, here's your British style breakdown. Okay, let's see. I'm going to see if I can...
All right, mate. Here's your British-style breakdown of the Nikita Kasap warrant doc.
All right, I'm going to get a different person in here. All voices. Okay, that's George. Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, where's the British one? Yeah. So I guess that top, okay, or that one has it. Oh, there it is. How about we'll try that guy?
Think of it as ME5 meets true crime docu-style sent with a cheeky dose of dry grit. Summary of the Nikita Kasap case. A nad goes full extremist, plans presidential hit job with a drone. Who's this bloke then? Nikita Kasap, teenage lad from Wisconsin, supposedly just your run-of-the-mill secondary school student, until one day he simply vanishes from school. For 2 weeks. Turns out, he didn't bunk off for a bit of mischief. No, mate. He's alleged to have murdered his mum and stepdad, nicked their SUV, grabbed the dog, and set off across the country with some rather sinister plans. The murders. On 11 February 2025, it's believed Nikita shot his stepfather and mother, then neatly tucked them under blankets like he was tidying up after a sleepover. Left a receipt for a .357 Magnum revolver, but the gun was missing. Went quiet. No school, no work, no contact. Just gone. Mum's mate and the
school raised the alarm. Police catch wind. Cops check the house, find the bodies. Phones are pinged. Both Nikita's and his stepdad's mobiles pop up in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Spotted later in Iowa.
Yeah, let me see. Break it down in Aussie fashion. Okay, there we go. Right.
Righto, mate. Let's break this one down in full-blown Aussie fashion. No sugarcoating. Just straight-up true crime Outback-style storytelling. Grab a cold one and settle in. The Nikita Kasap case. A proper cooked unit with terrorist dreams. Who's this fella? You've got Nikita Kasap. Teenage bloke from Wisconsin. Seems like just another quiet school kid. But instead of playing footy or crushing maths exams, he's allegedly been cooking up one of the most cooked as
plots you've ever seen. We're talking murder, terrorism, Nazi crap, and drones with bombs. Dead set, this one's wild. Family wipeout. Around February 11th, 2025, this bloke allegedly shoots both his mum and stepdad dead in their own home. Mum cocked it, stepdad too, both covered up under doonas like it was a sleepover, not a murder scene. Then Kasap grabs the .357 Magnum, the family dog, loads up the SUV, and pisses off down the highway like he's on the run from the Outback truckers. Busted on the run. School sooks up a wellness check after Nikita ghosts class for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Cops rock up, find the bodies. They ping phones, and boom.
I've heard Zozo use some of those words. Anyways. Let me go get back my George character. He's good. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you guys found the show interesting. That was pretty good. Yeah. Debunked the, hey, we talked to the DoorDash driver. No, you didn't. But anyways, thank you guys so much. And Cheryl, thank you again. You know, we got to like 70%, 60% of the goal without Cheryl Moran. But it'd be nice if, like, when we were doing the shows, you guys would, you know, as a whole, support the channel instead of like a few people each time, because it's difficult to make the goal that way. It's easy if we have 400 people watching, and, you know, if people just did $1, I mean, it'd be amazing. It would just, you know, we'd make the goal. You know, it's, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just kind of a weird thing on YouTube. When you do the live streams, there's no ad revenue at all on shows like this, where you're talking about something and they don't do ads. So then what's the option for people like us when we do the show? Like, why not, you know, not do the show and just make a video and make sure it's approved for ads before uploading it, and then at least there's something. So the option is that people support the channel and you do it. And then we make the goal and we just keep moving forward, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. I mean, the thing is I don't want people who, you know, if you can't afford it, then I don't want you to. Like, if you're like, oh my God, I don't have any, you know, like, I'm not, you know, I'm not talking to you. You're probably not somebody just going out to dinner and, you know, doing extra things. You're just trying to survive. Thanks for the show, Gray and Mods. It was interesting. The first one was a Cockney. Yeah. Okay. The conspiracy people say it's Emma Bailey. Who are you talking about? Yeah, it's the who? The which person? The DoorDash driver, or the friend that picked him up? Because it's a he. That, not the driver that took Madison and Kaylee home is a he. Yeah, how does anybody know who any of these people are, man? They're insane people, okay? Nobody knows out there, especially on Reddit or any place like that, where that, oh, I know who the DoorDash driver is, okay? Anytime you hear stuff like that, if it's not in a document, you know, just take it with 19 buckets of salt, okay? That's just somebody's name, Cindy. Isn't it obvious? Look. It's just somebody's name out there that's a DoorDash driver. Yeah, and then underneath, somebody claimed it was that person. Okay, here's the conspiracy theory. That, I mean, if I put this into yesterday's chat GPT, oh my God, it would. They said that Emma Bailey is the DoorDash driver, and after that got arrested and put into jail. And then somebody below it looked the person up and said there's a whole bunch of people with that name. And the person that you're referring to had their charges dropped. So it's just like you're trying to make a connection to drugs again and do the whole cartel angle, etc. It's just garbage. You know, these people are embarrassing. And they are going to be embarrassed out of their mind when the reality... But they're going to all say, no, I was just throwing out ideas, you guys. I don't think it's right to just accept what, you know, the officials are saying. So we were looking into other things, but no, it's, man, it's just, it's going to be a blowout, you guys. All right. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector.
Okay, bye.
I'm a certified human lie
Bitch,
detector.
please.
Gonna get ya, wanna stretch ya if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector, fool deflector, interceptor, and
and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.